Okay. So we're a little bit early. So, hey, everybody. Zondra Wilson. Yeah, we're 2 minutes early. Yeah, we're about 2 minutes early. So just for everybody, today is workshop series number 3, class number 4. And again, we're talking to a single brother here. Mr. Guy Williams. He's going to tell us a little bit about himself. He's going to tell us about, what we do. We talk relationships. We say it's for the grown and sexy. Mm-hmm. And we're going to talk about, what does that mean, grown and sexy?
Oh, man.
What does that mean?
I guess that depends on everyone's individual definition of what grown and what sexy is, right?
Okay, here we go with these assumptions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were having a little meeting before here about assumptions and ideas and opinions and beliefs and all that. So we can get into that.
Okay. Okay. So what we typically do is we open up with a word of prayer. So since you're the gentleman here, the man here, I'm going to allow you to do that.
And
unless you doesn't.
No, I have no problem with prayer. I'm a prayer warrior anytime. Okay. So what type of prayer are we going for?
We want to go for a prayer of kindred spirits. We want to make sure that that the viewers can take in what we're saying. We want God's, ultimately it's God's show. So we want it to be decent in order. I need help, y'all.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for bringing us here today.
Yes, thank you.
Just want to ask in humility that your presence be here with us, and that anyone watching the show, anyone participating in the show, the hosts included and the guests included, that we learned something today. Open our minds and our hearts. Let us humbly be accepting of your wisdom and your peace and your grace and your mercy.
Yes.
We ask that we have a fantastic show and that we touch someone out there, touch ourselves, and that we all leave this show better than when we came here. We ask these things in Jesus' name.
Amen, amen, amen. That was excellent. That was excellent. Okay, guys, remember to like, share the videos, leave your comments in the comment section. If you want to invite someone over, you're more than welcome to do that. Hey, Tondra.
Tondra.
Yeah,
Tondra. Are we Facebook friends, Tondra?
You know Guy? You know Guy,
I don't know if I know her.
Well, she'll say something.
Okay.
Okay, so Tondra, this is for you and I. Guy's going to talk about relationships with me. So, and we're going to try to get through this. We're going to try to get through this. Okay, first, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Guy Williams. I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, but I live out here in Los Angeles.
So you Creole?
No, 100% Mandingo, Zulu, Maasai warrior.
Okay.
Family oriented, extremely family oriented. Grew up in the church. My grandfather was a pastor.
Oh, wow.
Church in Slidell, Louisiana. My mom is very active in the church now. My dad is active in the church. So, yeah, church background. But you know what they say about those PKs, right?
Yeah, some of the worst ones, some of the worst kids.
But no, it's and to give you a little bit about myself, my mom and I call my mom every day. And we do a chapter in Proverbs every day. Like, so today is the 22nd. So we would have read from the 22nd chapter in Proverbs. That's our attempt. Like sometimes we may miss it all and we'll catch up. Like tomorrow, if we didn't do today, we'll do 22nd and 23rd on the way to work. We get it in. And it's helped so much with me as far as like my patience, because Proverbs is all about wisdom. And usually wisdom is tied heavily to patience.
Yeah.
So it's helped me a lot in helping me understand and being patient, not just with others, but with myself as well, and trying to improve things. Because, you know, we can be pretty hard on ourselves.
Yeah, we can. Oh, that's good. Are you your only child?
No. I have my older sisters out here, and I have a younger brother and younger sister in New Orleans.
Okay, so it's 5 of you.
Nope.
4 of you.
Yes.
I can get my math together.
Together.
Okay. Well, so Guy, tell us. So you're single. Mm-hmm. Do you want to get married?
Yeah, I've been wanting to be married since I got to tell you, I think I was about 14 or 15. I knew I wanted to be a husband and a father.
So what's the problem?
I can tell you what I think it is.
Okay.
Every time I was making that step with someone, it was like God literally removed that person from my life. So that tells me either I'm not ready or my mate is not ready. Like he's making me ready for someone and or making someone ready for me. He's always been protecting me.
That's how our God works.
Yeah. So that's what I think is going on. Of course, it could be that I'm a terrible person. It could be that.
I don't think it's that. Okay, so how many times have you almost got married?
I would say 3.
Wow, 3 women. So there's no reconciliation. There's no way you can go back to those 3.
I don't think so.
Okay. No regrets?
Oh, there's always regrets. No one's ever done anything perfectly. I always look back. I'm big on accountability, right? So I look back on what I did and maybe this wasn't right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So how come you didn't know that they weren't the one before you got to that point?
I don't know. I still don't know they weren't the one other than they're not here. Like I said, I think God has protected me from making bad decisions because I only want to get married once.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want, I've always said I want all of my kids to have the same mother and father. Mm-hmm. I don't want to have my seed spread across and I've got baby mamas and one wife and an ex-wife and a new wife. And I just don't want that. It's a lot of chaos. I want my kids to, be raised in the same household. Okay. And that they know daddy and mama loves them more than anything else. So.
Okay. So what are you finding out there? So what do you think the problem is?
Man, when you asked me that, I was like, man, I don't really know. I'm not blaming. I can't say there's a problem because let me say this. You can have 2 good people.
Yeah, they're not meant for each other.
That are not good together for whatever reason.
I agree.
It doesn't work. Then you can have one bad person and a good person and, or 2 bad people or whatever. But I have I'm not going to get into a bash fest, but I have a really big problem with selfishness. Really big problem.
Give me an example of some selfishness.
Selfishness is really being self-centered and everything is all about you and making sure you're okay and not really making sure both parties are okay.
Okay, can you give us an example? Break that even down. And it could be hypothetical.
Hypothetically, let's say you're dating someone and the lights have to be on the way they want them on. The temperature has to be set what they're set. The TV's on or off the way they want. The AC has to be where they want. You have to sit where they want. You know what I mean? You've got to do everything that they want in order for you to be happy. It's all about them and what they need. And that's when I'm the kind of person that's like, I'm like the peacemaker. Mm-hmm. So like in all of my relationships, I mean like friends, frat, family, whatever, like, okay, what's going to make the group happiest, right? Not necessarily what's going to make me happiest and damn everyone else, but how do we get to this so that everyone is the least amount of distress and the most amount of happy? But there are some people who their only concern is making sure that they're happy. Right. And then you fit in wherever you can fit in. If you can fit in. Right? Okay. It's been a little bit of that.
So you can't detect that up front?
You know what? I think all the signs are there. So maybe you're right. Maybe it's not as big of there, but as a man, usually we were talking about earlier, the man has to take care of certain things. He's the one who's trying to cater and make sure she's happy. But at some point he feels like, hey, I count too.
Oh, absolutely.
And then maybe after a few dates or whatever, he's like, okay, so can this be about us? And maybe she's not able to turn it off because you set the listen. Let me tell you
this is the good part.
If you listen to my show, like the Guy Parker Show, if you guys have ever listened to the Guy Parker Show, I always have stories, always. So I had a girlfriend once, and my MO was give her everything she wants whenever she wants, right? Yeah. Just give it to her. Baby, you want this? You want to eat here? You want to go there? You want to, whatever you want, we'll do it because I'm so laid back and chill. It doesn't really bother me. Okay. Right? But I noticed that at a certain point in time, when I started asking for things, it was always a battle. Whenever she asked for things, she got them. Right. So I pulled back and I stopped giving her everything she wanted. And her anger with me was, you can't set a precedent of giving me everything I want and then taking it away. That's not fair. And I was like, well, you're not giving me anything I want. So that's not fair either. She was like, no, but you should have never started giving me everything I want. I was like, boy, I'm punished.
Can I jump in? Can I jump in? Okay, so this is good. I get her side. I do. I do understand.
You get her side.
I do. Which is why I'm here trying to learn, everybody. Most of my audience, they know me. And I do understand that. Once you train us a certain way, I'm just being honest. If you train us a certain way,
right.
I don't know, because I had this issue with another guy in the class, because his thing was this. You should know. His thing is you should know. You should know. There's this man language, this man code that you have when you're angry or when you have some. I need to know, or most women need to know if there's an issue. So getting back to what you mentioned with the girl, if you've trained me, I don't know any other way. Because so if you're training me, if you're taking me to wherever I want to go and doing what I want and I'm not knowing any other way outside of how you trained me. So that's why in the beginning of the relationship, which is what you and I were talking about, that's where the communication comes in, like the conversation that we're having. So yeah, I think it was unfair for you to pull back. Once you trained that sister, no, but I get your point. Meaning that, of course, once then that's another thing. Okay, let's go back to when we started our conversation. Okay. Guys, most of you know, we talked about this text message thing. Okay. I have an issue with the text messages asking me out. And then
you want to talk specifically about that incident?
Yes, okay. Let's talk about that incident, and then we'll have.
So a young man texted her, said, hey, we should go out on a date, right? Mm-hmm. And then he said, hey, I'll pay and you can order whatever you want and I'll take care of it. And she said, do you see a problem with that? And I was like, no, I don't know what the problem is. So the problem was, why did he have to say that he would pay for anything? And I said, well, the dating game is so confused right now. People don't know what anyone's roles are. Everything is different. He was probably letting you know that he has it. He's going to take care of it. And he's not concerned about going Dutch or you paying, or just I'm going to take care of it. And I felt like, right, Tondra, she said that it was unfair as well. Move you over so you don't cut you out of that. You like cutting off.
I know I don't want to cut you off. I want to make sure your handsome face is all that.
All right.
I think it was very impersonal. I think that at my age, I'm not a young spring chicken, even though I know I may look it like Blanche Devereaux from Golden Girls, you know. Anyway, as I digress, I'm not a young girl, so that's, to me, I thought it was in bad taste. I get you asking me out. I'll get brothers that'll ask me out, but then to say,
order whatever you like.
Order whichever you like. Who says that? Like, that should be assumed. That he's like saying that I shouldn't assume anything. But if you ask me out, I'm assuming I can order what I want on the menu. I've never been out on a date and he was like, you can't, don't go past you can order just from the dollar menu, Zondra. I've never had that. I have never had that.
Not really, but listen.
Take me someplace that you can afford.
No one knows the dating rules. Everyone is operating.
There are dating rules.
Okay, so no one knows the dating rules. Everyone's operating from their own.
That's the problem.
Set of assumptions, right? Your own assumptions. So we don't know what his assumptions are. We only know what yours are because you have them.
That's why we need to talk.
So, right. So you can talk and say, okay, to me, this is not a major issue. This is where you pick up the phone and talk about it. Say, hey, what did you mean by that? Or, and he could say, hey, I just want you to know it's the world is your oyster. Like, I want to take care of you or whatever you want or whatever.
He has no game.
This is a Christian show, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
he has no. Come on, guy.
I'm surprised that this is an issue. I'm surprised that this is an issue for the ladies, for a man to tell, I'll take you out and you can order whatever you like. Meaning that,
because I feel like it's insulting. Just ask me out, and then it's
what's the insult in that?
Because you're saying, like, okay, so what happens the next time we go out? Can I not order everything I want on the menu? It's what it's implied.
Like you're coming from the pain body and you're operating from a negative space. Your immediate assumption was something negative. Why couldn't you assume something positive? Why are you automatically taking that to a negative spot?
Because the whole thing was weird. it's a backstory to this particular guy. I didn't want to give the backstory. Now, however, but I didn't think it mattered.
I'm gonna get the backstory, and then I'll come back.
If Carl Gilliard jumps on, Gilliard,
get Carl on.
So he knows the backstory.
Oh, he knows.
He knows. I called him right away because I was like, "What is this?"
Okay, well, see, now you're not painting the whole picture because I don't know anything about this guy.
So but I didn't think it mattered, even if it were someone that it would just turn me off. Now it just turned me off. I just feel like you shouldn't text me asking me out unless we have some type of communication already. Mm. You know what I'm saying? If we have some type of communication, that's how we've been communicating. Like, I'll give you, Carl's a bad example, but like I communicate a lot with Carl by text. My friend, I have another guy friend, I communicate a lot with him by text. Mm-hmm. So that's the communication method that we've set. So he can ask me pretty much anything by text because that's the communication method we've set up. Right. So with a guy though that is interested in me, mm-hmm. You have to be I want to say be a man because I don't want to put anyone down, and I know that's wrong words to say, but just like Zondra, you sound pretty cool. Like, we should hang out sometime, or you don't text me to ask me out, mm-hmm. and then to say that I take you wherever and you can order whatever you want off the menu. That just seems it's just the game was just weak to me, and I just felt like I don't know. I just feeling some kind of way.
Okay.
So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm quite sure all the brothers, think it's like think it's petty, and maybe I'm missing out on my Boaz, but I don't think so because he has no game. But you got to have some kind of swag. That's just me.
I think everyone has their own set of rules and expectations, and if they're not clear, it's hard to know how to deal with that person. Like you may say, if you've met him, you could or talk to him and say, listen, I need more phone calls.
Valeria. Listen.
I need phone calls. I need direct communication that's not text related so I can get a feel or a vibe. And he can be like, oh, okay, sure. No one is perfect.
I get that. I understand.
So there may be some opportunities of getting a really meaningful relationship with someone, even if it doesn't end in marriage, but a really meaningful relationship with someone that's being bypassed for, you can say petty, for these petty reasons, these petty rules, these speed bumps.
These are speed bumps. Okay. Well, ladies, I guess I missed
speed bumps, bombs, whatever. I mean, let me tell you, for me, someone who has the ability to roll with the punches in life and we can make things work, it's a lot more fun.
True.
You can get things done, but if you have someone with an entire booklet of don'ts, right?
No, but there's some dating etiquette.
Left and right, and like, duh, he can't be this, he can't bam.
No, okay. But guy, there's some dating etiquette.
Okay, well give me an example of a dating etiquette that everyone should know.
The man should pay on the first date.
And that's everyone should know that, right?
Yes.
This is everyone. Everyone should know the man should pay.
So you don't have to say that I'm gonna pay.
Okay, well, when does the woman pay? What date? What date number does the woman pay on?
I don't know. I'm going to have to ask some ladies on here.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody knows. We all have to work to listen. We have to work to this thing together. We have to communicate together. This is what has to happen.
So would you allow a woman to pay for you on the first date?
If she asks me out, mm-hmm. yeah, but usually what's going to happen is
you're going to pay for it anyway.
Well, no, I'm not doing that. I'll pay for the tip. And then next time I'll pay. Like I don't want, I never want a person to feel like they're being used. Never. It just makes me feel bad for them to feel like they're being used for anything.
I agree.
So, but if she wants to pay, I don't know what the ruls are.
I'm telling you the rules.
No, you're telling me your rules.
Okay, anybody in here that dispute the number one rule of dating mm-hmm. is if you ask me out, you should pay.
So if a woman asks me out, should she pay?
That's out of order.
It's out of order? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think that's out of order in this Christian. Isn't that out of order?
Wait, hold on. Andrew, rolling with the bumps is okay, but you have to have standards. I agree. I do agree. I'm just saying everything can't be an elimination bump. Every single bump.
Sandra has some elimination bumps. She don't have time for these exes. He doesn't have an ex, so it wouldn't,
Elimination bumps? Yes. Is it Tandra or Valerie?
Valeria.
Valeria,
you have some,
Val, you have some elimination bumps?
We'll see. She'll.
I just think that, sometimes you just have to give people a chance to get to know them. And there may be some, like, you may have a rule that eliminates you from meeting a nice guy or girl that could really enhance your life. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to get past the stuff up front. Now, that's not to say when you recognize a red flag, you should get rid of it. I'm just saying some of the rules, it could be easily resolved with effective communication.
Okay, so what are some of your red flags?
You want me to be serious?
Yeah,
okay.
This is what our show is about. We all the way 100.
I was just talking about this the other day, and I'm not being funny. If a woman told me she was ever a prostitute, that's a red flag for me. I have no interest. If she ever sold herself for money, I'm not interested.
So, ladies, if you've done that, don't tell him.
I'm not interested. I'm just not interested because that type of decision making. Because I'm always thinking wife and mother of my kids.
She could be a wife and mother.
She certainly can be. Absolutely, just not mine.
Why is that a red flag?
Why is that okay? If a man told you he was bisexual, would that be a red flag for you? Yes or no? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say one time he, in the past, he was bisexual, but now he's 100% into women. That red flag?
See, why you ask me that question?
I'm just asking. Is that a red flag?
It's a red flag for me. It's
he
hard
can still
for me
be a
to,
husband and a father, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to me though. I get it. Just if he has a husband, if he had a homosexual lifestyle, I understand that.
Okay.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Holy Ghost.
We're all works in progress. Nobody's perfect, especially not me. I know that.
What if she didn't tell you and you married her and then you found out afterwards?
I'll just have to deal with that because that's my wife. I'm committed to her, and that's why I only want to do it one time. I'm telling you, I'm the kind of person I'm not going to leave a marriage until my stomach is literally eaten away from ulcers, unless there's infidelity.
You can never leave. You can't just leave for infidelity.
Oh yeah, I can.
No, you cannot.
Okay. All right, sure.
Why can't you just forgive her?
Sure. Sure, no problem.
Oh God, I'm getting hot. I got on the sweater.
She's getting mad at me.
No, I'm not getting mad at you. This is the thing with with marriage, Christian marriages.
Yeah.
And Moses offered the certificate of divorce because of the hardening of our hearts. And no one is saying that she's going to go out and cheat, or you don't know what you're going to do.
Correct.
And I've never cheated before. That's why I'm playing the devil's advocate. So I completely understand about fidelity. However, I think that if we go into a marriage and we have an out of any sort, I think that's where your challenge is going to come in, especially in Hollywood. So
it's easier to cheat in Hollywood.
Neither one of us have gotten to that level where.
Is that what you're saying? Like it's more prevalent because if you're a successful actor,
I think because you're going to have so many people coming at you.
So much more exposure.
Exactly. So much.
Like the athletes.
And I was a sports reporter. And I have girlfriends who are married to ball players. So yes, I was a sports. Yeah, it's so. And this is. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go. That's another whole class. But yeah, you're guy. You will be exposed to so much, and even with me, I'm a low level model. You're exposed to so much. Just with like this guy. I don't know if I was that girl. I've had guys try to offer me cars, and if I was that girl, I would take it. But I'm not. That
was important to you.
Yeah, if I was into it, especially the Jewish.
This is my point. The content of someone's character should speak loudly enough where it doesn't matter. Ideally, I want to know that if I'm married and I left my room in a wife full of millionaires,
it wouldn't matter.
Wouldn't matter. Just like if she left me alone in a room with a room full of models,
right?
It wouldn't matter. Like she knows that's my husband. I don't have to worry about his actions.
I totally agree. I mean, I've been there. I used to do locker room with a bunch of naked ball players. So,
anything interesting happened there?
There's a lot of interesting things that happened there. Lord have mercy. That's another whole conversation. Which is why I went hard on knowing sports. But I've been there, and it's very Like, and a lot of people know this story. I give you an example. I've walked up just being in Hollywood alone, where I've been approached to do phone sex. It was $10,000 a month.
Oh, like as one of the workers?
As one of the people that will call in, and then I've been approached to be an escort.
Not a video though, just a phone.
Just the phone.
Now,
but then I was approached twice to be like that. I call it the Heidi Kleiss, but as escorts, where they disguise it as modeling job, and you would, and then it's a real industry out there. I was naive when I first got to LA. Y'all know I was naive, so they brought me in twice. I mean, the money is, Lord have mercy.
But you would be a high-class prostitute? Is that what they were
No, you wouldn't. Well, this is what they said. They said you would get $5,000 for a couple of hours, and then anything over that you choose to do is between you and the guy.
Interesting.
So, and I would be working.
Can't be good. That can't be good.
So, yeah. So I say that to say, because of just the type of person that I am, I was never interested in that. However, when all my money started going low, and you start thinking like, okay, I can do the phone sex, nobody gonna know about it. I could never sell my physical body, obviously, right. But you start thinking, so I use that as an example. You start thinking about ways to make money, because it's so easy if guys are offering, if you're running into older Jewish guys or who seem to really like me, they're offering
Is that what attracts you?
Yeah. No. That's just who, like,
I'm saying
me.
That's what I'm, okay. That's what's attracted to you.
That's who these older white Jewish men, it seems to love
were drawn
me.
To you.
Yes.
That's what I mean. That's what you attract.
Yeah, that's what I attract. And I'm not attracted to older, short, the kind of, not necessarily Jewish guy. It just so happened to be, they happen to be all Jewish. But I personally,
the Jewish Defamation League is going to be all over.
I know, right? I feel y'all. But I just am not into. I could never. That's just not me, though. I'm not gonna.
What are you attracted to?
See, that's another problem. No, seriously. A lot of you guys, Tandra and Joe knows that's my issue, because I grew up in the inner city of Cleveland. Uh-huh. I'm attracted in how I was raised. I'm attracted to more of a harder type of a guy, which might not necessarily work for me, because two harder people is just not gonna mesh.
When you say
harder meaning street. Meaning, that's why with the guy with the text message, it was,
mm-hmm.
I consider that, like, you have to be, I'm the type of person, you have to start off being, I hate to use the word the man or take charge type of guy. You have to start, because if not, I'm going to roll right over you. I'm going to roll right over you. So you have to start off that way. You have to train me. I hate to use that word, but you have to train me that this is, that how some things that he would like. That's why I was saying with the girl that you were talking about, I'm just used to guys, and it's not anything like I'm so special, but that's just what I've always had with guys that would take me out and they would pay. I do get it that he shouldn't pay all the time. And I get your point where, when do you start paying? But then that's when you need to communicate that. Your thing is you should just know. But my thing is that I don't know what's in your...
When did I say that? No,
I'm just saying, well, men, not you. But men will say, you should know, like, if you see that I've been paying for the last year, you should know.
Well, that's the thing. See, you know the rules as they benefit you, but what about the rules as they relate to men?
You have to tell me.
Well, see, why is it? But it's assumed that men should know your rules.
I'm going to tell you.
You're not assuming that you should know his.
I'm a horrible first date. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to tell you. I feel like, why? This is another thing that I get ragged on. Because they're like, well, Zondra, some stuff you don't want to just... I'm like, why wait?
Oh, I'm with you. I have no problem with open and honest communication from the jump. If there's anything, like we were talking about, what should you divulge on the first date?
Right.
And I said it totally depends on the chemistry you have with that person. But any and everything that you want to talk about, what's important to you, because why wait 3, 4, 5, 6 months down the line holding this back, something that's very important to you, then you drop it on the table and that person is not interested. Then you've wasted both
all our times,
right?
Exactly.
So if you like on a date, definitely, is marriage something that's important to you? Do you want to be married?
Right.
Do you want kids? If so, how many?
Right.
What's your ideology if you want kids on spanking kids, raising kids, church life, like financial situations, house duties, expectations, anything you want to talk about, because people start hiding their true self, right?
Right.
But they always regress towards the mean. So in other words, if I know what you like, let's say I like you, I just really like you, and I know you like watching HGTV. Let's say I hate HGTV, but I know you like it, so I'm gonna say I like it just to get you.
See, that's we're already on the right.
And then 6, 7, 8 months down the line, now that I have you, I'm like, I don't really like HGTV. And I just start pulling away, and I come back to who I really am in the beginning.
I agree.
Right? Don't do that.
I agree.
You should be.
I agree, ladies.
I have a philosophy that people laugh at, but I think it's funny.
What?
I don't think you should get dressed up on your first date. I don't think you should go above. I think you should be who you really, really are.
So I can get my weave in?
No. Whoever you like to be the most, like if you're at home and you like to sit in shorts and flip-flops and sweatshirts, that's what you should go out as, because that's who that person is getting.
Now,
right?
This is interesting. The couple that I had last week, now that's just, okay. That's me. The only reason why I have on makeup today, and you can go back and look at my old videos. Normally, I'm usually taking a nap before I do these videos. Was because I had an audition today.
Oh, how'd it go?
It went well. It was for Spectrum commercial, so
yeah. Hope you get it.
So typically, I usually come on, take off my makeup, and just throw on. I look a hot mess. Like I have on all different colors, 2 different. I mean, I literally do because I stay cold a lot. So I say that the guy last week, I stay cold.
I hate being cold. That's why I have on a jacket now.
See, I stay cold.
I like being
my hands are cold. See, I stay cold. So anyway, they were like, "Well, Zondra, people are always watching you, and you should, when you look somewhat decent, because like the 99-cent store, the 99-cent store, I'm like going right next door. I don't care what I look like. I don't care. Sometimes I'll jump up and I'll just do my hair like this because I'm just running to the store. Mm-hmm. So what they were saying is that you never know who you may meet at the store. You may never know who you may. I don't care. I'm like, dude, this is what I'm going to look like anyway when when the makeup comes off. And so I agree. I just think I may be a bad first date because I believe in just let's just get it all out in the open.
Yeah.
Like, let's talk about, like, if you are close to, like you said, you're really close to your family. I think that's really good. Some people have a problem with that.
Yes.
Some people would have.
Yes, I know. I know.
Like, dang, you with your mom again?
You
or you
talking
talking
your mom again? Your brother's with you again? It's just like, yes, this is my family.
Yeah. So people will have, they just will have a problem with that. So I agree that, and I think some stuff like you don't just divulge. Like if they have, I don't know, let's say they have gas issues or something. I don't know. Do you?
I mean,
I don't know.
You're going to be getting that. So I know. Listen, you don't want to be talking about everything that's quote unquote wrong with you on the first date that can turn someone off. But in the interest of full disclosure and telling people, like, here's the deal. I'm lazy. Sundays are all football. I have gas issues or whatever. You just, this is me. This is me. Can you, because guess what? If you can love me at my worst, then at my best, it'll be easier. But if I present to you, let's say I show up on the first date, smelling good, fresh haircut, crisp, clean clothes, everything's nice. You're like, oh, I like his vibe. And then when we get together, all of a sudden, every time you see me, my clothes are dirty, they're ratty. I don't take a shower, I don't smell right. I don't like to go out, my hair is all disheveled. And that's the average me. You're like, wait a minute, I feel like this is a bait and switch. You sent me your representative. Right. And not who you really are. But don't we all do that? Yes, we all do. We all put on a bit of a show for the first few times we meet someone. But again, everyone regresses towards the mean. That's why I really think, the dating situation should be changed. People should, and I put that on my Facebook page and people were laughing, but I'm serious. Everything about yourself that you think somebody might laugh at, you should put that out there. And there may be a person who's like, oh, I can deal with that. That's nothing.
Okay.
That's your ideal mate, right?
Right.
Someone who can take you at your worst and be like, oh, yeah, absolutely. No problem. You have allergies? I have allergies too. I keep a cabinet full of Benadryl. I'm just giving that as an example.
Right. But if she's a prostitute, it doesn't matter.
Oh, that eliminates it. She's done.
What if she's perfect in every other way?
Except the fact that she's a prostitute? Other than that. What if he's perfect, but everything, he's a serial killer, but everything else, he takes care of the bills, he's chivalrous, he's romantic.
Did he do his time?
He just kills people on the weekend. No, he hasn't been caught.
Now I'm dealing with a criminal.
Yeah, but he hasn't been caught.
You mean to tell me you would turn away just because she's a prostitute? She's perfect in every other way.
She's a prostitute.
She was. She's not even a prostitute anymore. She's not even a prostitute anymore. And suppose she did it through sex trafficking.
Oh, you mean like she was forced to?
Yeah.
Well, that would be different. I would imagine.
Or what if she had a drug problem? Would that?
That makes it better. What are you? Yeah, I don't think you know what you're doing right now. These are horrible examples. These are horrible.
I'm just saying, like, you would turn away. Okay, so you mentioned to me, of course, if he's a serial killer, no.
That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, but if
what if he has 18 kids?
That I was asked that. It's interesting you bring that up.
And Tondra, three other women are pregnant right now, so he's gonna have 21 kids when you meet him.
I was asked about the Brad Pitt situation because I love me some Brad Pitt.
Brad
has like 200 kids.
Like really biological kids, or you mean like
he has
adopting?
With all the ones with Angie.
Oh, okay.
It's a herd of them. And I was asked that. I don't have any kids, and I don't know if I'm gonna have any kids. So I don't. And then it's not. And let me just use his case. It's how they are being raised. You know, he has the one daughter that she chooses to be called John. And so to me that wouldn't, and they were like, well, it's Brad Pitt. No. I'm like, I don't care. I could not deal with because at the end of the day, and I've been a youth teacher too for the last 18 years. These children, in my opinion, there's some issue as to how they're being raised. That's just Zondra though. That's my, So
you mean like too liberal, too loose, too no rules?
I mean, I just think it's wrong for a young girl for her to be able to make a decision. She was like 4 or 5 to say, I want to be a boy now. Yes. Okay. So, but I'm not.
What are we talking about right now?
I'm just giving you an example as to someone that I really liked, but because of the baggage or the things, we wouldn't be compatible.
Oh, you wouldn't buy.
So So I was asked about if I would date a guy with 9 kids, and they were like, "Well, what if his wife died?" And that I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to.
I have an interesting theory on that. I'll tell you when you finish.
I would, and also marrying a pastor. I just went and cried to my housemate the other day, and I said that if that's what God would have for me, I would marry a pastor because I don't want to be. I don't want to be.
It's a lot of sacrifice.
Yes,
it's a lot of sacrifice.
So, but if that's God's best for me, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to eliminate. Going back to what you were saying as far as eliminating stuff.
It would be great if God were to literally talk to you and tell you, this is the person I have for you, right? And then it really wouldn't matter. No, it's your choice.
Yeah.
You can choose to be with this person or not, but this is the person who's your ideal mate. Then like, you know what? I'm going to have to work through whatever. I'm not going to be like Jonah and just go somewhere else and be swallowed by the whale. He's telling me this is where I should go. I'll go.
Okay, so what if she's a prostitute then?
Then that's what I said. I'm going to have to work through it. I can only go by what's best for me right now. If God tells me, I know, but this is who I have for you, then I'm going to have to make it work.
That's what I just came to this realization a week ago. I literally did because my mom passed away now 5 years, but before she passed, one of the things she was like, Zondra, you should just marry a minister because I love scripture. I love writing my Bible study teacher, but I'm like, no, I don't want to be a pastor's wife. I don't want to be. I just don't. I don't want to be a part of all of that. Just leave me over here in my little comfort zone. And so what I felt that, and God hasn't told me that I'm going to marry a minister. The only thing he said is that I need to leave my options open. I've been told this for the last 20 years or however long it's been so long. Just the brothers are like, Zondra, you're just eliminating people and blah, blah, blah.
It's tough. It's tough. I'm going to get the Tondra's comment in a minute. But my theory on kids is, it's probably best that you don't marry someone where there's more than a two kid gap between the two of you. In other words, if I have no kids and you have 3 kids, that's too much because we're completely unequally yoked. But if I have 1 kid and you have 2 kids, or I have 2 and you have 3, we're coming in kind of close together, right? I dated a woman years ago. I met this woman. She was amazing, beautiful, smart, pretty, intelligent, but she had 5 kids.
Okay.
I had 0, and I still want to have a lot of kids. And so I said, what are we looking at? You have 5 kids, and if we get together, we're gonna have 8 or 9 kids, and 5 will be for some. I think it was just too much for me to handle. I just couldn't.
So you gave up that beautiful woman.
I gave it up, 5-0. I mean, the World Series and NBA championships are over at 4-0. You swept. You're considered swept. You're swept at 4-0. This was 5-0.
You're missing out on these beautiful women.
That was one example. She had 5 kids.
But she was wonderful, though.
Yeah, she was. She had a little bit. Well, okay, yeah, she was wonderful.
Okay, she was wonderful.
I'll say that.
Because she had 5 children. Well, anyway, you just gave me some advice. Remember, you just said that we can't eliminate. So I think because of the world that we live in, going back to your comment earlier, as far as an imperfect world, people make mistakes.
Yes.
People do things.
People make mistakes.
And it is what it is. So maybe that if that woman or whomever you
Yolanda says she can't be a first lady.
I can't be a first lady. I know, right, Yolanda? Did you want to answer Tandra's question?
Tandra said she's feeling like her ideal mate may be fat, short, and a bunch of kids.
Is that who you're, Tandra?
Maybe.
We have to be somewhat okay. What about this? Carl had posed a question before, like dating someone that you're not attracted to, and then maybe it then turns into
just tough.
So let's talk about that.
It's hard. There's a lot of dynamics that go on with that because men and women are very different in how we process and think and do things, right?
Okay.
And I'm not saying that women aren't visual because they are, but men are extremely visual. Like that's what draws us to you first is our physical appeal to you. And then we find out your character, like who you are.
Okay.
And it's hard. I'm not saying it's impossible because it's not. It's not impossible. It's just difficult. When you're dealing with someone you're not attracted to. I don't know how ladies do that. I don't know.
Ladies?
I don't know how ladies do. Don't you want to look at your man and find him desirable?
I do. Like, I completely disregard.
And I'm going to tell you about men.
Okay.
Let me give you. Men are much more pliable and willing to cooperate when they're pleased in a certain area, right?
What area?
So if a man is, I'll just say it, if you're in a marriage,
okay,
and a man is pleased sexually,
okay,
he will more often than not want to give you whatever it is you want. Okay. Like, look, my baby just rocked my world. You want new cabinets? I'll figure out. Okay, we're gonna get some new cabinets.
Just from having good sex.
Just from having good sex. That's how men are. You know, we're base creatures. We like good food, sleep, sex, and the game. That's how most men are. That's not the formula for every man, but
what if he's not good?
See, now you have a real issue because he should be trying to please you as well, right?
Okay.
If the issue is good, that's another topic though. You know,
we have to bring them back.
I don't think all bad sex is fixable.
I do. I think you can work on sex.
I don't think so.
I think you can work on sex.
I think you can work on it. I just don't think all bad sex is fixable. You can communicate, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever been with someone where the chemistry, I'm not even talking about sexually, I mean just maybe in hugs and kisses. You didn't have to instruct them on how to kiss you or hold you or hug you. The chemistry was so magnetic that everything just worked well. You just found yourself pulled into this person. Has that ever happened? No? That's sad.
You're going to have, he's going to,
That's really sad. That's never happened?
Continue.
That's a yes or no question.
Continue, guy.
Ooh, I think I'm gonna need something in that cup.
We need some more wine.
Something in that cup.
We need some more wine. My story is unique, but we're gonna keep on going.
I think, communication is key in a relationship on almost every facet. But there are some people who work better together than others, even before you communicate. But the person has to be open and willing to listen to learn how to touch you.
I agree.
What you need.
That's why I think it's doable.
It is sometimes fixable.
When is it not?
Some things just don't work. Some things just don't work.
How could it not work? If we don't have any chemistry, why are we married in the first place?
You think everyone who gets married because they have chemistry? You think everyone gets married because they're in love?
See,
Do you think everyone gets married because they're
that's another. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't. I mean, I know where you're going with this. We're saying in an ideal situation.
Oh, ideally. Oh, okay. So ideally,
if we have chemistry and you love me and I love you, it doesn't matter. I think that we could work on, as long as you do what I say do and I do what you say do.
Yeah, and what I think men need to understand in general is that foreplay starts when the day starts.
Oh, absolutely.
It starts outside of the bedroom, like helping her from the moment she wakes up. If she feels safe and secure and loved by the things you do and say all through the day, at night, that oven is 800 degrees. She's 100% hot. But
unless she's tired and she's been working all day.
But even then, I know, like when a woman feels loved and secure, for most women, when they feel like this man loves and takes care of me, then she's gonna want to please you.
True, but men want sex all the time.
Yes, men do. Men are, I'll put it like this: men are like fast food.
Yeah,
eaters.
You're just always on.
You're hungry. You want McDonald's. You want Taco Bell. You want Pizza Hut. And women are often like Thanksgiving dinner.
Right.
You know, they want all the fixings and the trimmings and
right.
the roasted turkey and the pies.
Right.
Normally, that's not everyone. That's not every man. That's not every woman. But that's how it normally works. That's why sometimes communication is really important, to know what your partner wants and to know what you want. You have to be able to communicate that.
Okay, so let's take this a step further. Okay, relationships God's way. We know that we're not supposed to have premarital sex.
Yeah.
And so the issue has come up in a lot of the groups that I participate in. How
many groups are you in right now?
3. I need help.
Oh. You're in three Christian groups?
I'm in all of them Christian relationship groups. I need help.
That's not bad.
Oh yeah, I'm all over the place, just listening and gathering and getting all the information.
Okay.
And one of the things, some of the sisters are like, no, they need to try. They need to try it out. Some of the brothers, I have not, and
that's very interesting, because I've heard a lot of women say, "Oh, I'm not marrying a man in Christian groups. I'm not marrying a man unless I've tried it out first."
That's what I'm saying. That's what they say.
That's why I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah.
I heard that.
So then here I come.
That's not scripturally based. Right?
You're supposed to wait
right.
until you're married.
Mm-hmm.
So here I come, and the guys that I've come up, because they're so used to it, so they don't believe me. So that's another thing.
What?
They're so used to, like, women say one thing and then they're doing something else.
Oh, that's another
And so,
issue.
of course, because the common sense thing, of course, guy, if I love you, you love me, and we're dating and it's serious. Let's say kissing gets me there, mm-hmm. then we can't kiss.
Right.
So they don't. So they don't understand that. So guys, I found was like, we gotta do something. We gotta hold hands. But if it's going to take, if I'm telling you, and then I was like, don't say that, because if I'm telling you that this could trigger or start this,
mm-hmm.
Then you should understand that. And we may not be able to kiss.
Mm-hmm.
We may not be able to, we can't sit up at night and watch movies, and that I've been told is probably going to be a problem. Now I feel like it's not with whomever the Lord is going to send me, but I found that to be a problem where I've had these drawn out fights with guys, because I'm like, dude, you're testing me, or you're pushing the envelope. I get it, but
But you know what?
I want you to talk about that. So what are you finding in your circle with the men that you're
I had a conversation with a brother who's a Christian, and he was complaining to me. He was like, these sisters in the church, all they're concerned about is abstaining from sex, but like there's so many other issues. I said, yeah, but this is a major tenet of Christianity.
Right.
It's a major tenet.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different if you were talking about something else like drug use or something,
right.
But this is very specific.
Right.
So you can't get mad at these sisters for holding on to the word. I was like literally arguing with him, like, look, I get it. You like sex. I get that. But you can't be mad at these sisters for holding on to, these Christian sisters for holding on to a major Christian tenet. I just didn't know where he was coming from.
Okay.
I just didn't know where he was coming from.
So did you help him?
No, it didn't. Look, people are going to believe and want what they want to believe and want. You know what the scripture says. It's pretty clear on it. I can't get mad at someone for saying, well, no, I want to abstain.
Okay.
How do you get mad at someone for that when they're a Christian?
I agree. That's what I'm finding. I mean, we'll get around each other and be like, yeah, that's right. And you, yeah, but then behind closed doors, it's something different. And so you're right. I know very few people that are practicing abstinence.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Very few.
This society we live in today, it's very
sexual.
Self-centered. Well, that's part of it. It's very self-centered, and everyone wants to do what they want to do without repercussions, right?
Right.
They don't want to be told what to do, and it's tough, especially when you're past 35, and you feel like, I don't want to be living like I'm in high school again. Why am I abstaining? I'm a grown person. I have my own place.
Right.
Blah blah. Well, what can I tell you? This is a word, so I get it. I'm not mad at people. I just don't. I find it to be hypocritical to be mad at sisters or brothers who are saying, "Well, no, I want to do it the way God intended for us to do it."
Exactly. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, that's what I'm finding. Yeah.
You're finding that men are getting frustrated with you because you're saying
that's been.
We're not having sex, but you can't kiss me if it's going to bring me to the point of wanting to break this.
Yeah.
And we can't snuggle because you're going to be trying something, right?
Yeah.
How is that going for you, Zondra? Tell us in great detail the success of this plan of yours.
I mean, it is not going well, but it's the truth. I mean, what am I supposed to do?
No, you're supposed to do. Listen, you have to do what you think is right.
Yeah. Look, I just said, Lord, if I be by myself for the rest of my life, I'll just serve you and just going about my never mind. Because it's difficult, and you're right. Life is about choices, and I don't want to. I don't want to slip in that area. I'm divorced. I don't know if you know this. I've been married before.
How long were you married?
I made it a year. No.
A year?
I was married 2 years.
How much time do we have left? Oh my God.
10 minutes.
What?
Yeah, I only made it 2 years.
Were you in love with your husband?
Yeah.
So... So what happened?
Is this another whole conversation?
Yes, what happened?
Just didn't.
Who filed for divorce?
We both made the decision to file for divorce.
Because?
It was a whole host of reasons. One
main
selfishness.
Reason? On whose part?
On his part.
Okay, so selfishness.
And then he loved women.
So was he?
That was another.
Unfaithful?
He was unfaithful.
Well, that would be the main reason, I would think.
I could have worked through it if we. I could have worked through it if he. I could have worked through it because when I went into my marriage, I went into
2 years.
Yeah, I didn't do well. I tried, but I didn't make it. I did. It's not like I said.
Well,
I'm
how
going
was
to
the
leave.
sex? Were you guys compatible? Was the chemistry good? Yes or no? It's not a difficult question, is it? Is this difficult? How was the sex?
Can you tell by my face?
No. Oh, you were not pleased. You were not pleased. Oh, okay. Well, did you try to communicate with him?
Yeah, it was at the end. It was too late.
You tried to communicate with him at the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was just, yeah.
Oh, boy.
But you know what? Let me say this in his defense, because his mom might be on here, and I love my in-laws. The ex-in-laws, I should say.
We're gonna have to get into we have to get into this book right here, ladies and gentlemen. This one, we're gonna have to get into this one right here. We're gonna have let me see where I can
I'm just telling the truth. I know.
2 years of this marriage. See here.
It wasn't my fault.
Probably open any
it was not my fault.
Chronicles.
But no, let me say this. I'm gonna be honest, and this is the truth. This is the honest to God's truth. I did love him. But there were a lot of red flags that I chose to ignore because I thought that I didn't know all the things that I know now. So I went into it like, oh, I love him and we're going to make this work. And I looked at all the wrong things instead of the things that I should have been paying attention to. So like, is he a good provider? He was a good provider. He worked,
Did he have kids?
Yeah.
Okay. How did he treat his children?
Oh, he was real good to his kids.
Oh, that's a good sign.
He's good to his children.
That's a good sign.
So, but he had there's some other issues
that you don't want to get into.
Well, I don't want to talk about his business.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, and let me say this, the reason why I brought this up, I don't blame him now. I hated him before.
Mm-hmm.
I hope, but I honestly don't, because I made a choice. And I believe in accountability. He didn't put a gun to my head to marry him. I married him knowing I had a list of things there that I knew, the good and the bad, and I made a choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I made it based off of faulty information on my part. So I'm not going to say that he presented faulty information to me.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
So I looked and said, okay, we could work through this and da-da-da and blah, 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 blah. Because, he treated me well. And, there was nothing that if I asked for that he didn't give me. But none of that matters. I didn't know that.
Did you guys go to counseling?
We did. He didn't want to be there. He didn't like counseling. I didn't know that. See, it's so much stuff when you start.
I really believe when a couple gets married, they need to
they need to
start counseling while they're happy in the beginning. Just to maintain the marriage, because sometimes it's difficult when you're completely in a situation to be completely objective.
But in his situation, I think he married me because it was either I wanted to be married or lose me. That's what I honestly look back at now. Because I didn't tell him that. He just knew that.
Ultimatum type thing.
I didn't tell him that. I think he felt that. When we talked at the end, because I wasn't going to sit around with him forever. I was going to move on. I was a news reporter at the time. So I'm not going to sit and wait. That's for anybody. Mm-hmm. So that's what I felt.
Okay.
And then I think he just was not ready. And even in saying that, I still made a decision, even though he was, even when we got together, things that wasn't right, I still made a choice, is what I'm trying to say. So I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
I feel like you need to have a whole show about this.
I don't. I take full responsibility and accountability, because a gun was not put to my head. I made a choice. It was not a good choice, and hey, I'd live with it.
Okay.
So it was
that
not
was your first marriage?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And
so I made a choice.
You his first marriage?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you made a choice.
Yeah, and he wanted to reconcile, but I did not. Right after, I'm like, when I got out, I was gone. Mm-hmm. So, and we were not met. We were not compatible. We really were not compatible. Yeah, and it would have, even if we would stay married 20, 30 years, it would have been a miserable, because we're just not compatible. His mind, he was a street guy. You know what I'm saying? When you're a street guy, you just stay street. You don't ever grow up. That's why when you asked me the type of men that I'm attracted to, so what I did is, after that marriage, I got counseling for myself, and I went back, because the key with that is I had to ask myself, how did I choose him? Mm. How did I choose this guy?
Okay, I'm with you.
And so I went through that whole scenario as to why I picked him, because he looked good. He was in exercise, just all the stupid stuff.
Those things are important. They're not.
They're important, but they're not the
most important. But they're important too. I don't like it when people try to. I'm not saying you're doing that, but they try to diminish the importance of attraction. I look at people. I'm big on analogies, as a pie, right? All the ingredients make up that pie.
Right.
You can have the best crust in the world, but if the apples, it's an apple pie, are rotten,
right,
the pie is rotten.
Right.
Right. So who wants to be with someone that they're not attracted to? That's not how it works.
I agree.
So you want to have a nice personality as well. You want to be someone that you're attracted to. You want them to be responsible and loving and caring and God-fearing. All these are the ingredients that make up the pie of that person.
I absolutely agree.
So trying to diminish it or act like it's not important, I don't think it's fair. Just like when people say, well, I can't date a broke man. I understand. I understand that. I'm not saying the finances of a person is not the only thing that make them who they are. Right. But it is an important factor.
Right.
So if you're dating a guy who's financially not well off, but it's because he makes bad decisions and there's no end in sight, that's what you're signing yourself up for. But if you're dating a guy that's not financially well off, but he's working on something,
right,
then you say, okay, we can build on that.
Right.
You see what I mean?
And that's important. You're absolutely
Right.
right. It's if he's not, and then that was one of the things in my marriage. He was not a good money manager, whereas I am. So I wasn't going to live a life of hiding money and then, having to tell you how to say, and then he wanted to be in charge of the money, but you don't know what you're doing.
But you're terrible at it.
You're terrible at it.
That's
so exactly. So that was where we really like, outside of a whole other host, but that was one big issue when you can't, because one of the things is mom was like, well, allow him the books for 3 months. That alone almost gave me a heart attack. And then after that,
so his mom was involved in the marriage?
Yeah, because I went, and that was another thing I learned. Don't bring the in-laws in.
Yeah, I got some advice from a married couple. The guy was married. I think at the time he was at his 50-year mark. He said, let me tell you something. Keep the in-laws out of everything. Right. You guys need to resolve your issues if you get married. The two of you, don't bring anybody else into it.
That part I agree. I didn't know. My mom was in it. His mom was in it. And they were, of course, all on my side because they know.
Especially if he was wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy if he's wrong.
Oh, yeah. It just created.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm going to tell you what I think. Should the person in the marriage who's best at whatever that is be the one who always does it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Whatever it is.
I agree, with the exception if that person is doing everything. Like, let's say you're the best cook.
Okay.
You're the best money manager. You're the best car washer. You're the best clothes washer. You're the best, getting the kids together. You're the best at all these things. And then I'm like, well, you're the best at it, so you should do it. I think that's true.
Oh, no. Because I'm overloaded. So I have to. Right. I agree.
I think it should be a team effort, and we try to help each other. I just really think marriage is about teamwork.
It is.
And the best for the team. So if the team shines, we shine. If I make $1 million, we make $1 million. If you make $1 million, we make $1 million.
So that's another thing. So if you're a billionaire and I have nothing, so are you going to make me sign a prenup? I don't have a problem with prenups either way. I don't. If I met a woman and she's $80 million and said you need to sign a prenup, okay, fine. I have no problem with insurance. I said the same thing. So they was riding me on here. I'm like, I don't care because I'm not with you for your money.
Right.
I know I'm going to do my
I mean, anything we build from that point on, we build together, then let's split together if we break. But if you had it before we got there, why am I trying to see that? That's like a vindictive person. I want access to be able to hurt you later. No, I don't have any problems with that. With signing a prenup.
Okay. All right, gosh, this hour has gone so quick. Oh my gosh, I got to bring you back.
Yes, it's done. Then I can have the ladies grill me when I get back. So you said, and I want to know.
Oh gosh, let's see if we missed any questions. Let's go back to the beginning. Oh gosh.
I don't think we had any questions. We had a lot of comments.
Comments, okay. Okay, so look, he was paying attention. I wasn't. So, okay, any final thoughts?
On anything in particular?
On anything you want to leave with the ladies. Give us some advice.
I'll say this. Like energy attracts like energy.
Okay.
All right. When you're a positive person and you look for positive things, they tend to flow towards you. When you're a negative person and you look for negative things, they tend to flow towards you. So look for positive, look for light, try to uplift people around you and be around people who uplift you. And I think things will be a little better. And communication. Let's go. Always go back to communication. Communication doesn't mean only getting your point across. Communication means listening as well, because you can learn from everyone. Everyone has something to say. Sometimes it's hard, particularly for men, because we're hyper literal. So sometimes, do you ever read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus?
Yes, I still have the book in my storage shelter.
One of the things that got me right away, because I was having that argument over and over, is when he said, when women say you never and you always, the first thing we think of is examples that disprove her point, right? Like, what are you talking about? You never take me to the movies. We just went to the movies on Tuesday. Right. What are you talking about? So we get stuck in that instead of listening to what she's really meaning is we don't go to the movies enough.
Right.
Right. So when I talk to brothers, I try to get them to move a little away from the literal, and talk to sisters, try to get them to move a little more towards the literal. So everyone can help each other out. So listening.
Why don't men like to talk though?
Oh, that's another show.
All right, we'll have to bring you back then.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about why men don't want to talk.
Yeah, I want to know why men don't want to talk.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you. Have me back. I'll tell you.
Okay.
That's the whole show. That's
the whole show.
Yep.
All right, ladies, let me know when we're gonna. I guess we'll have to bring you back like really, really soon.
And remember, you can listen to the Guy Parker Show You can go to our website at theguyparkershow.com. You can
and I'll put it up
Facebook.
in the website.
Yeah, on Facebook, The Guy Parker Show, Mr. Guy Parker. So yeah.
Does it stream live on your Facebook?
It streams not on Facebook, but if you go to our website, The Guy Parker Show, and then click on our stuff, all of our previous shows are there. You can hear all of our shows that we've had. You can hear.
I wasn't on. Yes, I was.
No,
that was Carl's.
I was with you on Carl's show. Guy Parker, Jamie and Parker is my radio co-host, and we were on the show. What's Carl's show?
It's relationship, something about, I don't know the name.
I can't remember the name of it. Carl and Tiny Gilliard. They're on the same network, the Real Radio Urban Network, and we were on the show together.
Yes.
So
talking about the relationship.
It was great. It was a great show. I enjoyed it.
It was. All right, everybody. So I'll put up the link in the comments section so you can join it. But I'm gonna bring them back because we want to know why men don't talk. Okay. All right. Thanks so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. Bye, everybody.